Good morning, folks. I hope you're waking well. It's time for Potato and Kevin Said with your host, Potato. Co-host Kev, that's me. I'm starting today out with one of mine called Thank God for the TV. Yeah, the TV's on. Well, TV fits right in the hole I created for it. Yeah, the TV's on. Yeah, the TV's great. Every day, new show. Oh, I just cannot wait. Yeah, the TV's on. Well, TV's bright. The wealth is poor. Look all the colors of life. And thank God for the TV. Yeah, the TV's on. Well, TV fix tells me how, when, and where to begin. Yeah, the TV's on. Yeah, the TV sings. Tells me who to trust, who to love, and who to hate. Yeah, the TV's on. Well, TV's friend tells me what's coming and just how to think. Yeah, thank God for the TV. Yeah, thank God for the TV. Yeah, look at me, I'm so happy. Yeah, the TV is on. Well, the TV speaks. Tells me how, when, and where to begin. Yeah, the TV is on. Yeah, the TV sings. Tells me who to trust, who to love, and who to hate. Yeah, the TV is on. Yeah, the TV is friend. Tells me what's coming and just how to think. Yeah, thank God for the TV. Yeah, thank God for the TV. I call that one thank God for the TV. Um, yeah, lots of stuff to think about or not think about. Um, yeah, I mean, probably don't want to think about. Like, there's some very um, crazy stuff. I mean, we all knew crazy stuff was happening, but I'm not sure that we all knew exactly. I mean, yeah, but we never had to really think about it in such descriptive terms. You know what I mean? We knew things were messed up, but we didn't have to have the descriptions of it right in front of us. Yeah, and still, a lot of his people just were in bad shape, folks, when people just were refused to believe what's reality. And I mean, I'm a very I want evidence for stuff. I don't want to just say people are something and they are. You know what I mean? Like when I say Obama murdered American citizens, he murdered American citizens by a drone. Not him personally, but he okayed it. So he knew that American citizens were going to die by a drone. It was a father and son about a year apart or something like that, both in Yemen. But they were targeted. They were the targets. American citizens were targeted as suspected terrorists and murdered without due process. Granted, it was in a foreign country, and well, they managed to kidnap Maduro, so I'm sure they could have picked up this father and son who don't have a whole country protecting them or anybody protecting them. So, but they didn't want to do due process for them, so they just murdered him by a drone. I know Trump is a scumbag. You know, I haven't personally watched him rape anybody or any of that, but when I was a kid, he was going bankrupt, and I really feel like it was on purpose so that he didn't have to pay bills to people that he didn't want to pay, because he certainly has never had a problem coming up with some money for something. But he doesn't mind putting people out of business to avoid paying his own bills. And what you call smart business, I call scumbag, con man, scumbag. But somehow the people who supported him decided he was a good businessman, and that him being honest, which he's not even honest at all. Like, I don't even know. He said a few things that normal politicians wouldn't say, but he wasn't honest. He just has no decent things about him at all. And anyway, I was looking earlier, and a friend of mine was like, "Oh, my friends list has been cleaning itself up," and then I noticed on there I've kept him around because he's a musician, and I tend to give musicians a little bit more of the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he'll come back someday. At this point, I don't know. But on his page were 3 other people who I used to be friends with, all saying the same thing. Yeah, my list is cleaning itself out too. And they're acting like they're some kind of upper person there in that whole thing. But what they're I guess not recognizing is that it's because they've been supporting, they've openly changed from non-supportive of government abuse of power to defending it and defending pedophiles and acting like it's all okay for people to be just murdered in the street. Yeah. So this is how far they've gone. They've gone from being anti-government to bootlicking and making excuses and defending government actions and acting like they have the moral high ground here in some situation where this is what's happened to them. The trumpets are insane, and even if they're not I just don't even know what to say about it. It's just insane to think that anybody can be supporting this guy now and supporting government actions. They're murdering people in the street. How do you support that? I'm going to close today with Remember Palestine. they're just graves. They look at what we create. So great now, it's gone and we move on to the next new hit song. I hope it drowns out your bombs. Yeah, everybody sing hopes. Your presidents and their bombs. They're gonna kill everyone. Oh no, you know, they'll say so. Yeah, everybody sing hopes. Your presidents and their bombs. They're gonna kill everyone. Oh no, you know, they'll say so. To cook and mow their lawns. Remember Palestine? It's on the news today. There's no one left there, just graves. They look at what we create. So great now, it's gone and we move on to the next new hit song. I hope it drowns out your bombs. Everybody sing hopes. Your presidents and their bombs. They're gonna kill everyone. Oh no, you know, they'll say so. Everybody sing hopes. Your presidents and their bombs. They're gonna kill everyone. Oh no, you know, they'll say so. To cook and mow their lawns. Remember Palestine? Remember Palestine. Alright, folks, I call that Remember Palestine. And yeah, I mean, I guess that was a little bit of a weird episode. I'm gonna be taking a little bit of a break. We'll be back. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm trying to redo the show a little bit and maybe only do it 3 days a week. I'm not positive about that, but I'll give all the information with first episode back. I'm gonna keep the count going even though the show is gonna change a little bit. It'll be episode 51 when I come back. But if you ever find yourself losing friends and you go back over the stuff you've been saying and you're supporting the government murdering people on the street and you're supporting pedophiles and rapists and murderers being in charge of everything and doing basically whatever they want, being liars, saying they're going to end wars, saying they're going to make prices go down, saying they're not going to spend money on other countries for no good reason while giving $40 billion to Argentina and trying to buy a country that's not even for sale for $700 billion while making sure that a bunch of Americans lose their health care. I mean, you support this stuff and then you wonder why you're losing friends. Well, that might be it. Not that he'll be listening to this, because while I supported anything musically that he did that I ever came across, you know, I'd share his videos, I'd share his stuff, I even have some of his stickers on my thing somewhere. I know he'll never hear that. He'll never hear my advice about not supporting this crazy government, because he never supported my music stuff. So maybe learn that too. Maybe be supportive of your friends, and maybe your friends won't ditch you. Hope you guys have a good day. See you next time.